Good evening. I'm very glad to see Mrs. Tatiana, and also I can't see another participant, but I hope we can start according to our schedule. So now I will share my presentation. Can you see it? I hope, one moment. We have another participant, Miss Elena. Maybe one moment. And also Mr. Stefan. So maybe we will start in a while, because first I'd like to say hello to our participants. So, Mr. Stefan, it's nice to meet you, and thank you very much that you joined our meeting. And also Mrs. Elena and Tatiana. So, we will start. The topic of our meeting, Wallachian Greek language AFCN in the Ukrainian musical manuscripts of the 17th and 18th centuries. Maybe we will start a little bit later because we have participants who would like to join us. Maria.
Mesela.
Good evening. Hope that now we can start our meeting. Oh, we have another message. Good evening. Maybe do you have problem with your microphone, Mr. Stefan? Maybe there is some problem. Anyway, it's great that you joined, and I am very glad to see you all. And the topic of our meeting today, Wallachian Greek language AFCN in the Ukrainian musical manuscripts of the 17th and 18th centuries. I hope that this topic will be of your interest because we have this connection with Wallachian lands and contacts of Ukrainian monasteries with Romanian monasteries, of course, because we have these notes in our manuscripts of the 17th and 18th centuries. Nice to see you. And we start. The hymn AFCN is one of the most famous prayers to the Mother of God. It consists of two parts. The first one, it's truly neat. You can see the English translation on the right. It's called the Archangel hymn because it's considered a message of the Archangel Gabriel written on Mount Athos in 982. According to Athos legends, A wandering monk came to the cell near Korea. During the divine service, he sang the hymn AFCN before the song of the most holy Theotokos, more honorable than the cherubim. At the request of the cell novice, he wrote this hymn on a stone and ordered to sing it in church. Then he vanished suddenly. The second part of the hymn, which chronologically appeared earlier, more honorable than the cherubim, was written by Saint Cosmas of Maimar, a prominent Christian hymnographer of the 8th century. The Meghalinarian AFCN theme is chanted at the Divine Liturgy, at the conclusion of the anaphora, matins, compline, and other services. So we can have a look on this Greek text. So Mr. Stefan is writing to us that in this unit, I'm connected to a computer without audio and video connection. Thank you very much for this information and hope you will enjoy anyway our meeting. So the Greek text, which is preserved in our manuscript, is AFCN os alithos, makarizin se tin Theotokon. Tin aimakariston ke panamoniton ke mitera to Theou imon. This is the first part that was added later as we see. Tin timioteran ton cherubim, ke endoxoteran asigritos ton seraphim, tin adiathoros theon logon tekusan, tin ondos Theotokon semehalinomai. And this part of Cosma of Maimar. In the Ukrainian staff notated manuscripts of the 17th and 18th centuries, called Irmoloya, I want to say again that Irmoloya in the Ukrainian and Belarusian tradition is a multi-genre collection of church chants. It's not like Irmoloya in Byzantine tradition and in Romanian tradition. So, in the Ukrainian staff notated Irmoloya, the number of which exceeds 1,100 units, the hymn AFCN is represented by many melodic versions, Slavonic and Greek language. In some manuscripts, the AFCN is accompanied by remarks toponyms, Greek, Bulgarian, Valachian, which indicate possible borrowings and connection with the Balkan church chant traditions. Greek language chants, sometimes accompanied with the remark Greek or in Greek, appeared in the Ukrainian and Belarusian musical manuscripts in the 16th and 17th centuries and remained in the liturgical repertoire until the end of the 18th century. Not only the remarks, but also the Greek verbal text transcribed in Cyrillic indicate the Eastern origin of these chants. As usual, the unchangeable chants of the saint liturgies and the most important hymns of the great holidays were sung in Greek. Nice to see you. Among the Greek language repertoire, the Meghalinarian AFCN is ranked third in terms of number of records in the manuscripts, after Trisagion and Cherubic hymn. Therefore, the Greek language AFCN was widely used in the Ukrainian churches and monasteries in the 17th and 18th centuries. Byzantine notation was never used in the Ukrainian church chant tradition. The Greek repertoire is contained in the Ukrainian and Belarusian Irmoloya written in the 5-line Kiev square notation, which gradually replaced the Znamena semiography at the turn of the 16th and 17th centuries. However, the Greek language chants appeared in the Ukrainian musical manuscripts before the change of notation. Now we can see on the right the sheet of the anthology of the 1530s, 1540s, written in the Znamena notation, contains 6 Greek chants, including the Meghallinarian Axion Estin. Unfortunately, it's still impossible to reliably decipher them. So you can see this on this sheet from this anthology, which is stored in Kiev, in Kiev Library National. We see достойно есть изрядно. That means special axion esteem. And you can see this pneumatic znamena semiography, but this manuscript doesn't have special signs which specify the pitch. So we unfortunately can't decipher this chart. But it's interesting that it's Axion Estin, one of the most popular chants, Greek chants in our religion. We focused on the Greek language Meghalinaria Axion Estin from the Ukrainian staff-notated manuscripts of the 17th and 18th centuries, aiming to find their origin. They were recorded as anonymous works and without Morse indication. You can see, here we see достойно грецкий, that means it's truly meet, Greek, it's truly meet, Greek axiom estin, and we can see the mode indication, only the name of this chant. So, in all manuscripts, we have no indication of mode for Greek language axiom estin. Analyzing data of the manuscripts, we can say that mostly one Greek language axiom estin was recorded in one manuscript. In this case, there were no remarks near the work, or it was written in Slavonic that it is the axiom estin. We see such an example on the slide on the right. We have only достойно and Greek достойно. According to the remarks, the Greek language axiom was sung at the divine liturgy of Saint John Chrysostom, called in the manuscripts as liturgy in Greek, Greek liturgy, or Kievan liturgy. The unexpected at first glance remark Kievan liturgy most likely pointed to the Kiev metropolitanate. The Greek language repertoire found in the Ukrainian musical manuscripts indicates that the divine liturgy of St. John Chrysostom itself was sung in Greek on certain occasions, as well as some chants for the significant holidays. In some manuscripts, two compositions, axiom estin, were recorded, one after the other. They were presented as different chants to the same text. For instance, Greek axiom estin and another one. Or they formed the pairs, small and large axiom estin, or daily and Sunday axiom estin. The manuscripts of the Maneva Great Skit contain the largest number of the Greek language axiom estin, from 3 to 5 works in one manuscript. Our comparative research has shown that the definition small and large, daily and Sunday, refer to the same pair of works. That is, the small axiom estin was sung every day, and the large one sounded on Sundays. This is confirmed by the remark in which the words small and daily were matched. Daily, small axiom estin. We can see this example. Повседневный that means daily. Достойно есть, that means action esteem. And on the left, we see also the remark малое, that means small. So we have these two specifications which are matched together. Action esteem, daily and small. The Greek language action esteem, known as large or Sunday, was written in a different key as a chant of the skit in the Manava Irmaloyan of 1675-1676. We can see on the slide this example. Все скидского напелу, that means chant of the skit. But this is the same chant which in other manuscripts was called as Sunday or as Lach. This explains the fact that two later Manava manuscripts contain the daily small action esteem without a paired Sunday or large one. Instead, we see the Greek language action esteem with the remark chant of the skit. These definitions were matched in the remark Sunday chant of the skit in the Manava mid-18th century manuscript. At the same time, the higher monk of the Lari monastery, Joseph Krynitsky, in his Irmaloyan of 1673, written down the small daily Greek language action esteem and added in its description that it is a chant of the skit. We can see this very nice and very big explanation. We see action in Greek. No, in Greek, with Cyrillic letters. Action, малое, повседневное, that means small and everyday. Зело прекрасное, very beautiful. И умиленное, and very tender. Chant of the skit in Greek. По-грецку. Напев скитського, по-грецьку. So, did Joseph Krynitsky make a mistake? No, of course he didn't, because both the small and large action esteem were sung in the Manava Great Skit. We found this daily small action esteem with the remark toponym Bulgarian and the Church Slavonic text instead of the Greek one in the earlier manuscript of the 1620s from the Belarusian Zhirovitsky monastery. The definition Bulgarian as well as the remark Greek refer to the Balkan region. Since the two compositions action esteem in some manuscripts were presented as a pair small and large, the question arises whether they are short and extended version of the same work. As our analysis has shown, the beginning and some phrases of these works are very similar. Moreover, we found the number of the Megalinaria action esteem of the plagal of the second mode. We can see the indication of mode, plagal of the second. With the same beginning and similar phrases in the Greek Byzantine manuscripts of the 16th and 17th century. One of such example you can see on the right on our slide. The similarity of the small and large action esteem from the Ukrainian Ermoloya of the 17th and 18th century to the Greek Megalinaria from the manuscripts of the 16th and 17th centuries testifies to their Greek origin. We can assume that this pair of chants from the Ukrainian manuscripts, as well as the aforementioned works from the Greek Byzantine manuscripts, are associated with the same archetype. And now we see the action esteem with the inscription Voloskaya, that means Walachian. The manuscripts of the Manava Great Skit contains the Greek language axion esteem with the remark toponym Valachian, Volosk, which testifies to the strong connections and musical contacts of the Great State with the Romanian monasteries. I want to point that only Manava manuscripts has this axion esteem, has different axion esteems with the remark Volosk. However, in the anthologies of the 16th century Putna School of Music, the Greek language axiom esteem is not represented. This is surprising because our previous research showed that all executed colophonic Greek chants from Ukrainian and Belarusian five-line Ermoloya of the late 16th and 18th centuries were represented in the manuscripts of the Putna School of Music. Moreover, among the Greek language repertoire of Ukrainian and Belarusian manuscripts, the cherubic song of the plagal of the first mode of the Protopsaltis Yevstati of Putna was written down. In the Maneva manuscripts of 1675, 1676 and 1738, 31, 1733, the studied Greek language axiom esteem was written twice. Comparative analysis has shown that there are two slightly different versions of the same work. As a result of our research, we found out that in the earlier manuscript from the Kiev Monastery, you can see the sheet of this manuscript from Kiev Monastery. The same work, I mean, the work with the remark Valachian. So, Valachian axiom esteem was written down under the rubric axiom esteem Greek. So, this piece, Greek axiom esteem, is the same with the axiom esteem with the node Valachian. Other Ukrainian Ermoloya of the same and earlier times, compared to the dating of the Manava manuscripts, contain the same axiom esteem without specifying its origin. So you can find in Ukrainian manuscript Valachian axiom esteem without any remarks of origin of the origin. As a result of our comparative analysis of Ukrainian and Greek Byzantine manuscripts, we have identified this Greek Valachian axiom esteem in the Greek Byzantine manuscripts of the 17th and 18th century, where it's written as the anonymous work of the second mode. So we have no name of the composer, but we have the indication of mode, Ichos Bertrix. Istintian liturgian to Chrysostom. So we have a remark that specifies that it was sung in the liturgy of John Chrysostom, and nothing more without the name of composer. The studied axiom esteem of the second mode is rendered in Middle Byzantine notation in the Greek manuscripts, as we understand. Maybe, okay. And in five-line Kiev notation in the Ukrainian Ermoloya. A comparative study has shown that the Middle Byzantine notation was decoded by the five-line Kievan. The exegesis, the performance realization of this work was written down in Ukrainian manuscripts. Now on this slide, you see the beginning, of course, only beginning of this axiom esteem. There is a collation of sources. We see original version, Greek version from Greek manuscript, transnotation of this Greek version, and how it was written in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 5 Ukrainian manuscripts. In these two lines have this action esteem in Manava manuscripts have a remark Valachian. So, but two slightly different versions, as I said. This is Valachian, more extended version, and more simplified version. But there is the same piece, as you can see. So you can compare that it's exactly the beginning is different from these four sources, but is the same with Valachian from Manava manuscript. And then we see the very direct correspondence and, of course, exegesis of this work. The exegesis of Byzantine works by cleave notation illustrates the case of codifying musical work by notation means that don't belong to an authentic tradition. The comparison of two different notation systems of codifying Byzantine music yields interesting results. What I mean? Parameters of work that are not defined by the authentic Middle Byzantine notation complement the data of the Kievan notation system, and vice versa. Parameters of works that are not defined by the Kievan notation complement the data of the Middle Byzantine notation system. This phenomenon significantly enriched our understanding of the musical work and allow us to offer its historical informed performance interpretation and analysis. This is particularly valuable method of studying the works of distant epochs that were recorded, that were written down using notations that had become obsolete or reformed. Attributed Greek chants from the Ukrainian staff-notated Dermoloya of the late 16th and 18th centuries give us such a possibility. Kiev exegesis of Greek Byzantine works is a valuable source for studying the practice of exegesis of Middle Byzantine notation, which is the most relevant and debatable branch of modern Byzantine musical. The peculiarity of Middle Byzantine notation lies in the fact that it doesn't contain sufficient information about the rhythmic and temporal organization of chant. Kiev exegesis give us this information. The studied action esteem was sung in a tuple regular meter. You can see it because this is, we can put the line, the first measure, the second measure, the third measure, and so on. So it's clearly that this chant was sung in a duple regular meter. The melodic and metro-rhythmic content of its musical formulas is clearly defined. The duration of Byzantine neumes depends on the formula, so it's not very stable, it really depends on the formula. The mode of the studied action esteem, as you remember, was not indicated in any Ukrainian manuscript. A five-line notation provokes contemporary performers to imagine a musical scale that consists of tones and half-tones. In our opinion, this approach is erroneous since it doesn't correspond to the Byzantine model system. Greek manuscripts contain the necessary information. The studied action esteem is of the second mode. In Kiev notation, unlike the Byzantine one, the interval movement of the melody can be written down in only one way. Really, we have only one possibility to write down this melodic line. The same interval movement of the melody written in different ways in Byzantine notation implies a multiplicity of performing interpretation. according to the energy of the neumes used. So Greek manuscripts contain the information necessary for a traditional performing interpretation of the work. And now, some words about the context, historical context. Thanks to remarks left in the Ukrainian and Greek manuscripts, we know that the studied AFCN was sung at the Divine Liturgy of Saint John Chrysostom. Thanks to the Greek manuscripts, we know that it is of the second mode. The chants of the Divine Liturgy of Saint John Chrysostom were sung in the second and the plagal of the second modes back in the Byzantine period. Therefore, our anonymous AFCN can be connected with the early Byzantine chant tradition. The studied anonymous AFCN has common features. What I mean common features? The mode and melodic, some melodic tones. With Gregorios Protopsaltis' AFCN of the second mode, known as usual Tosynethys manner. An interesting story is connected with this work. At the beginning of the 19th century, the practice spread in the churches of the Constantinople that each chanter performed his own AFCN, or the one he liked. Because of this disorder, in 1819, Patriarch Gregory V of Constantinople announced a competition among chanters and teachers in Constantinople to create the AFCN. The Gregorios Protopsaltis' AFCN was recognized as the best, approved for use in the patriarchal and all parish churches, while others were forbidden to perform. As a result, the Gregorios Protopsaltis' AFCN of the second mode was entrenched in tradition and to this day sounds and the services of the Greek Orthodox Church. It became widespread without the name of Gregorios Protopsaltis, but with the note usual, Tosynethys manner. So, the studied Greek language AFCN with the note Valachian from the Ukrainian manuscripts of the 17th and 18th century, in its connection with the past and the future that we have outlined, are evidence of the widespread of the centuries-old Byzantine chant tradition in large areas of the Christian world. Now, how many time we have? Yes, we have time. Now we can hear this AFCN Tosynethys manner, but maybe before we will try to read this Wallachian AFCN from the Manava manuscript of 1675. Do you agree to read it? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can start to read it. For instance, we know that this AFCN is of the second mode, so we can say that this note is Z. Z, Z, ha, V, ha, Z, Kezo, Z, Z, ha, Z, Kezo, Ke, Z, Ke, Zo, Ke, Z, ha, Z. Who would like to start to read it?
Could it be possible to magnify the text, the musical text? For me, it's a little bit small to see.
Aha. No, I don't know how to do it. Now I will try. Oh, is it better?
Ah, yeah, it's excellent. Uh,
So, um, I can see you who is with us. Ah, Kosti, nice to see you again.
sorry for being late.
So, you understand my approach.
Yeah.
We know that this chant from Byzantine manuscript, we know that it's of the second mode.
Mm-hmm.
So we can start as if we have this Z, Ha,
Mm-hmm.
Vu.
Mm-hmm.
And we can start, or if you want the sol fa mi, whatever is better for you.
Yeah, it's okay with the
So we have
the ga vu ga the ke zo the ga the ke zo ke the ke zo ke the ga vu and another vu or it's on the verso.
Vu,
Vu
has,
ga
e,
the ke zo
Z.
the.
Z because again, we have
Mhm,
the whole note,
mhm,
and the pitch is between this part, between these two dots.
mhm.
So it's Z, these
The
pitches.
yeah. Should I proceed?
Yes, yes, please.
The ga the ke zo zo ni zo ke di vu the ke zo ke the ke zo ke the ga vu vu ga the ke zo ke the vu vu vu.
One moment, it's excellent, it's just excellent, but it's not the repetition of this note, it's vu with dot. So
Ah,
it's,
okay. Vu ga the
yes,
ke. Mhm. These are eight zoni zoke like this.
vu, vazi, ke, zo, ke, zi,
Ke zo
ke, zo,
ke the
vu.
vu 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 again. Ga the ke the ke
Zi,
I guess.
vazi, ke, zi, because we have quarter and eighth.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Zi,
The ga ke.
zi,
Uh,
vazi, ke, zi.
uh-huh. The ga the ke the ga vu. The ga the ke zo ke the
Так, ke,
the
ke,
ke zo ke the ga vu ga the ke zo ke the again. No, it's not the.
zi,
It's ga.
it's ha, ha,
Ga. Mhm.
ha.
And afterwards, ga, the,
Zi,
ga, vu. No,
ha, zi, zi, ha, vu.
ga, the, ga, vu. The, ke,
zi,
No.
kezo,
Di, kezo. Kezo, di, vu, gadi.
zi, vu,
Mhm.
vu,
Vu, gadi. Di is
vu,
in,
zi. Maybe it's
uh,
not clear. Zi, vu,
vu, ga,
zi.
di, kezo, ke.
Thank you very much. It was the first half, till tintimioteran.
Aha.
Maybe who wants to continue?
May I?
Of course, of course. So the different part, tintimiotera, the different part of the Saint Cosma.
Okay.
So
Ke, di, ga, vu, ga, di, ga, ke, zo, ke, di, ga, vu, ga, ke, zo, ga, vu, ga, vu, ke. Diga, ke, vu, ga, ke, zo, ke, ga,
uh-huh.
vu, ke, zo, ga, vu, pa, vu, no, no,
Maybe
no, vu,
havu, havu,
uh,
havu,
Gavu, ke, vu, gavu, pani, vu, ke, zo, ke,
ke,
di,
zi, havu,
Ligavu, digavu, digavu, dikezo,
zi.
diga,
Uh,
from where?
um, because we had problem with the internet
I'm
connection,
sorry.
maybe Galinomen. So it's zi,
Diga, diga, vupani, ga, ke, and
zi,
di.
zi. So once more, it's not two notes.
Sorry, yeah, it was point. Dot.
Yes,
Okay.
half with the dot.
Yes.
And we have this nice, it's the element for the beauty,
Okay.
because we can see the last note and something interesting and beautiful.
Yes.
So you see that it's very easy uh, to write, to read it, and accordingly to sing it. If we know the mode, we can understand um, how the intonation can be. So maybe someone wants to start with the word, because it's a little bit, maybe first we will read this word. Axio, you see omega, axion, estin. Is it understandable? Os, a, li, sos. It's very easy. because you know that Cyrillic alphabet is based on Greek alphabet, on the Greek alphabet. So we have almost the same letters with some differences. Maybe eight, as I remember, eight letters are different from Greek. So it's not difficult to read it. Makarizins, tin. So we have this scoropis. This type of writing was called scoropis. And that means that some letters are uh, up on the upper level for the economy of paper, of course. Theotokon. So we see this the same as in Greek. Theotokon. Tin. Ai makariston. Ke pa. Here the letter N is omitted. I don't know, maybe it's just a mistake. Because we know that it must be panamoniton, no, not paamoniton. Yes? Panamoniton, ke miteran. Of course, we know that it must be mitera without N. But we see these mistakes in verbal text, and we understand that maybe it was written according to the sound. It was not. It was not after the manuscript. It was not made based on the manuscript. Tu seu imon, tin imioteran, ton heruvim. Maybe someone wants to continue. Tin imioteran. Who wants to continue reading? Maybe it's a little bit difficult, but I'm sure that you know the Greek text. So if you know the Greek original, it's not difficult to recognize this text.
I could read it, I think.
Yes, please.
Tin timiotera ton
Ran.
yeah. Ton heruvim
Vim.
ke uh, endoxotera, but I read it xatera.
No, it's a mistake because
Okay.
we know that it must be endoxoteran, doxoteran. But we have this mistake in doxateran.
Yeah.
Huh?
Teran.
Again,
Asingriton, yeah, an N, extra N.
yes, yes.
Ansgriton,
Asigritos.
gritos. Uh, Ton Serafim.
Seraphim.
Uh, Tin.
Tin.
Yeah. Azia
Azia.
Toro.
It's A. A.
Mhm.
Soros. Soros.
Toros. Theon Liogos. It's
Logon. We
Logon.
can say that now we know that it must be Logon. Theon Logon tekusan. We
Mhm.
know. But we see that Logon. And I believe that it's the Ukrainian pronunciation.
Mhm.
Because even now, in western parts of Ukraine, they do this. Instead of Logon, they do it very, um,
Lyo. Huh?
um,
Like.
yes, Logon.
Mhm. Mhm.
Logon with this. So, say on Logon.
It sounds also a little bit Moldavian as an accent, which
Moldavian, I
is
didn't
soft
know.
and yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's,
He- For
Yes,
example, instead of A, they could say E, or instead of E, a little bit softer, let's say. Yeah.
so I didn't know that Moldavian really do the same, but I know that Ukrainian, especially on the western part of Ukraine, they do it very, very. It's a common practice. Logon. Se on logon te
Te, kusan, it could be. Te,
tin
yeah, te
tin
kusan tin
on
on those, on dos, theo
ondos
to con se mega lino lea lea. It's written
megalino
no megalino
me
men.
megalino man. It's very interesting ending of this text because we see first that we see the Greek N.
Mhm.
So they have probably they knew something about how to write it in Greek because all times we saw N from Cyrillic alphabet,
Yeah,
from the Cyrillic, but suddenly on those we see Greek. So it was mixed of different alphabets. Um,
yeah. And
and of
also
course, if you don't know Greek,
omega. Uh,
also omega, because Theo, Theotokon, and Theos, they usually with omega, but we know that Theos is with omicron, must be. But it's this interesting approach how they read it. But we have this duplication of n, it's interesting. And of course, Semeha, Hama, it's all Greek because we have Hama, because in it must be it be written Greek alphabet from the Greek alphabet. It is very interesting. So also we have duplicate because sometimes they use Cyrillic Hama like this and Greek. But and interesting the Megalinomen. We know that it must be E. So what evidence this yat it was pronounced as ye by Russians and as e in the Ukrainian lands. So from this special feature, we can understand that it's Ukrainian manuscript because sometimes if you must find some features to say that this manuscript is Ukrainian, not Russian, not from the Russian lands. So also, of course, we try to find this yat to show that this yat in Greek text, for sure it must be E. So it was written by Ukrainian singing, Megalino. So what I suggest, um, with our group in Kiev, we did recording of AFCN in Greek language. And if you agree, we can hear it because, of course, it would be much better to sing together, but, via Zoom, we will not have a pleasant result. So maybe if you agree, I can put this recording that was prepared and you just to enjoy how it can be sound according to all these findings and according to all these approaches that I tried to show. So I want to do it. Here I have this recording, and now we will return to our
Neanes actiones fin, os alithos Macaris in
maybe I made a mistake because we seen the Greek, the earlier Greek variant of this axiom, and Wallachian exegesis is still the work in progress. But I think if it will be ready, this Wallachian exegesis, of course I will show it to you. And what I'd like to show you at the end of our meeting, I think that this axiom is very close to the axiom synesis menon, which we can hear today in the liturgies of Greek Orthodox Church. So, to have an idea, I suggest to hear also this synesis menon axiom still. Do you agree?
Нова сироватка Женіфіка.
think maybe it's not good idea. Okay, now sorry, we had problem. So maybe I will put this link on our chat. Because I think that maybe it will not work nice. And chat. Maybe it's better to hear not together because we have not a good connection now. So maybe you have some questions or you want to clarify something. Can you hear me? So everything is okay. Thank you very much that you devoted this evening to our meeting. And I'm waiting for you at our next meeting. It will be on Thursday at 6 p.m.
Thank you.
And see you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.